Ever since Rishabh Pant ended up meeting with that rather horrible near-fatal accident, there's been a lot of concern over not just his general well-being, but also when exactly it is he could start training for a potential comeback to the sport of cricket. Now, obviously, we've been getting sporadic updates from the man himself, and whatever updates we're getting are good in the sense that he has been able to start walking again without crutches sometimes. He was seen in public during the IPL in a Delhi Capitals match. So there have been plenty of good signs really in that regard. But another really good sign has emerged thanks to some reports in the media which actually have spoken about Pant and him necessarily not needing another round of surgery and him actually making some progress forward in his rehabilitation, which potentially could mean that his comeback will be sooner than expected. Hear that right. But before we get into why that's the case, let's first look at what exactly it is with the surgeries that Pant had to undergo, why there's optimism now that he doesn't need to undergo a second round of surgery, and what exactly that means for his potential cricketing comeback. First up, let's talk about the surgeries he had. And to start with, he had one very major surgery which was on his MCL, or the medial cruciate ligament. Now, this part is key. This was the major surgery, and at the same time, there was also a minor surgery done on the ACL, or the anterior cruciate ligament. The real concern point, however, was the PCL, or the posterior cruciate ligament. That was being monitored on a fortnightly basis because there was a worry that he might just need surgery to make that properly heal too. But that is no longer an issue, and that second surgery is now no longer going to be a necessity for Rishabh Pant. So that is the one good news. The second good news now is that thanks to this PCL healing up properly, well, then his progress as far as the comeback is going is actually going pretty well. So as of now, what we know is that he's able to walk for much longer periods without the use of a crutch, which is always great because again, if he's not needing to use a crutch as much, means he can put significant weight on the legs without needing any support. And now his rehabilitation work, the focus of it is lying on the strengthening side of things. So the focus now is to ensure that his knee and his ligaments can start getting better so that it's able to properly work as it is normally used to. And what's more, there is plenty of better news in the sense that his back to play training can be started to resume very soon, although again soon is in quotes because there's no official timeline on that regard just yet. But if the strengthening keeps going well, then he will be able to actually start back to play training very soon, which of course is very good news. Now, what does that mean regarding his comeback date? I mean, what we're hearing is that, or what sources have told certain publications, is that it can happen sooner than was originally expected. Now, that in itself sounds great, but the problem is that we don't really know what the timeline was as far as his comeback was concerned. Remember, when he did meet with that accident, it was a pretty brutal, nasty accident. Most people were pretty convinced that he was lucky to escape with his life, never mind think of playing again. But obviously progress since then has been much better, and therefore there is optimism that he can actually start his training for the comeback soon. But again, there's no timeline, and initially it was expected that he would be out for at least the entirety of the 2023 cricketing season. That meant of course no IPL, meant no Asia Cup, it meant no World Cup. It meant that potentially the best bet would have been that he'd be making a comeback sometime in early 2024. But now it is being said that it can happen sooner than expected. What exactly is sooner than expected? Again, we don't really know, but what we do know, at least and what we've learned in the course of this video, is that his comeback, his training, his rehabilitation is all going well. In fact, it's going better than expected, which means a comeback can happen sooner than was thought possible. That's great news, especially if you're a fan of Indian cricket or Rishabh Pant, or just someone who's a well-wisher and wants to see someone who could have very well had both his career and life snatched away from him now actually come back into the sport and potentially get a second innings at being able to play or do what he does best. Hopefully that will be the case. Right now we don't really know the exact timeline on what exactly his comeback could be, but when you do, you know where exactly it is that you'll get to know about those updates. It'll be right over here at Sports Today. So do stay tuned for more such updates, not just on Rishabh Pant, but from the sporting world in general. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this particular video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. For now, from my side, goodbye.